fellow Jumpstarters. Happy Monday. We are rejoined by Ted Capshaw. Hello, Ted Capshaw.
What's happening? So,
If you missed it last week, first off, Ted is on the tail end of COVID. So, you might hear that in his voice. And, we discussed imposter syndrome, which is one of the biggest topics I think that we could dive into. For today, the request was to talk about starting the new year strong and the goal of starting the year strong. And the first thing that came to my mind, Jade, was, well, how are we finishing the year, right? We have 3 years. I feel like 3 years, 3 months. We want to like end on highs, right? On every many months we have, and then start strong, obviously. But how do you feel? I'm sure you hear a lot of like end of year, new year, at this time of year with your clients.
yeah, I'll just go in like coaching mode because when people come to me and they're like, "Hey, what do I need to do? We need to end the year strong. We need to do these goals. Let's run through the finish line and all the rest of that." My initial reaction over and over again is, "You're implying that you didn't play strong all year."
Wow.
So I constantly go into that and immediately they go into this self-reflection and they're like, well, wow. It's like, if you have the need to finish the year so strong, I get the mental thing about running through the tape. You got to finish the year, right? Not let your foot off the gas, all gas, no brakes. Like I could give you all the sayings that people come to me with. But the truth of the matter is, I'd rather you learn some real lessons about your rhythms, behaviors, operating rhythms about the past year. Because you've heard me say it a million times in the past, consistency is more important to me than finishing the year strong. Here's the truth of us, at least in the United States. Most people don't finish the year strong.
Mm.
Here, let's just be very real and practical about this. Once Thanksgiving hits, here's the reality. Holiday season's upon us. Kids got stuff at school, a lot of outings, a lot of this, a lot of that. You drive yourself crazy trying to finish quote unquote strong. Like if you got to do a lot of cleanup just to get revenue in or just to get another client and all the rest of that stuff. So the very first thing I'd say is if this is you at this time of year rhythmically, I'd say you need to change something up Q1, Q2, and Q3, first three quarters, to do things more consistently strong so that at the end of the year, the most important thing is to remain consistent and run through the tape.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I'd want everybody to explore, like this whole finish the year strong or whatever. The second thing that which you've already leaned into, the very second thing that I usually go into with people when they say, "What do we need to finish the year strong, et cetera," is I'd rather you be thinking about how are you going to set yourself up to start the year the way you started it last year. For example, do you have a call sheet? Do you have a prospects sheet that you're going to go after in January 1? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like for you writers,
Your
do
plan.
you have do you have a list of companies and or people that you're going to go after to try to partner with and write for them? So you're not scrambling trying to a lot of people wait till January 1 and they do this thing, which I'm vehemently against. They hit the reset button, new year and all. No, this is a continuation of the momentum that you've built in 25 leading into 26. And there's just a few things that if you did coming out of the gate would set you up for a prosperous January, and then you're off again to the consistent, not here, not there, like consistent. And so I just, the finishing strong, you've heard me say in the past, like fifth quarter type stuff. And the fifth quarter is nothing different than what I'm saying now. I just really promote consistency. The main thing that I really want people to grab here at the onset of our conversation is if you are feeling the push to finish so strong, I would ask you to do some self-evaluation about how you played the first three quarters of the year.
It's so funny when you first said that. I thought you were going to go in a different direction, which I think you might also think somewhat, but like it's almost discrediting things that you've like how well you could have been doing. You know what I mean? Like, so say you've actually had a good year and you're not even acknowledging that and being like, let's just keep this going versus I got to go on the upswing when, you know what I
That's
mean?
it. Let's keep it going. Isn't that, I would say that's more appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's keep this going. If you've
Yeah.
done things right, let's keep it going. There should not be, look, we're having a business conversation right now. You
Yeah.
could call it a life conversation too, quite frankly. Because if you all of a sudden feel like you got to finish the year strong with your family, you've missed 3 quarters of a precious year with your family.
Amen.
So again, let's be conscious, and just keep this thing going. I think that's
Yeah,
much more appropriate.
agree. And can I tell you, like, I love a fresh start, but I have a pet peeve about the new year, okay? Because that is the other part of this is that if you want to make a change or make a shift or like we were talking about the preparation, you do not need to wait for a date to start that. You can start that tomorrow, right? Even if you do the reflection like you were saying, like, hey, the year hasn't been great, you can course correct now and you can adjust now. You don't have to talk about it as ramping up. You don't have to wait until the new year, right? But you can formulate a plan of action that you're going to start taking and start implementing it and then maybe reevaluate it in the new year, or it's a good time to like reflect. I'm all for reflection, but yeah, every day is a chance for a fresh new start. You don't have to wait for.
It's such a good point. Immediately I'm thinking about, as I often do, me, I think about Maxwell and Jackson. Damn near I can relate most things to my boys,
Yeah.
but um, we're really excited about where they're potentially going to go to high school. Like I'm out of my skin. Like I'm so freaking emotional, excited about where they potentially be going to high school. And I'm catching myself like wanting to fast forward
Mm,
to your point, and I'm realizing like, no, 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 don't speed up time. Like you're the one that says you want to cherish all this time. I relate that to what you're saying right now, this idea of don't wait for the date, because in business, all too often people are like, it's just been a terrible year. I can't wait for the new year. I'm gonna, da da da. And I'm like, my Lord, you have 2 months left.
yes.
You have 2 months of activity, and you never know when it's like I tell my boys, in sports, you're one play away from being the superstar. Because, in business, you're one day away from getting that client that's just going to completely change the trajectory of your 2026. Why would you just hope for January 1 to come here faster instead of maximizing the potential of every single day leading up to that? It's just putting a stamp on your
Yes.
point.
Yes. No, I love that. And also, I feel like at times when you feel that feeling, it's the time to take the action and not to wait. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
I've had, I mean, it's been a crazy couple years for me personally, and I've had to reset my own thinking and my own, get up again multiple times, like the typical example of the gym, right? Like in the beginning of the summer I re-signed up for the gym. I was so excited. I started going every single day, and then my whole family gets sick, right? And so it's like 2 weeks that you're down and you're out and you're recovering, and then it's like, okay, now to get back up again and go again and to restart and or lost all the muscle, whatever that you built. But guess what? I'm back again. And so then you like prove to yourself that you can redo it,
Yeah.
instead of like, but taking that action to go in that feeling that you're feeling in that moment, instead of being like, you know what, when it's the new year, that's when I'll go again, because then that'll never happen.
Yeah. It's all and again, it's what we do,
Yeah.
right? We just want to hit the reset. We've had some terrible stuff. I
Yes.
mean, tomorrow. What
Yes.
did I say? Something about planting a tree. When's the next best plan to plant a tree today I don't know what it. I'm
Yeah.
botching it. Never mind.
Yeah. I know
But
what you're trying to say though. Yes.
we're completely aligned here, Jade.
Yeah.
I think it's not that you're not going to do some very intentional things at the end of the year.
Yes.
It's not
Agree.
that you shouldn't be a mindful business person and close the year out appropriately and
Agree.
take the appropriate action. There are certain things that I do every year to close the business out, look at the business, look at what worked, what didn't work, look at the client base that's strong or where I need to make some pivots and all these things. And it's not that you shouldn't be doing that. And it surely is not that you shouldn't be doing very specific things. For example, a prospect list or whatever, or reflection that leads to different action in January 1. Those are all good business practices. But let's not overemphasize. If you have to go into the year finishing so strong, you've wasted probably way too much time in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And then to Jade's point, and if you take the same rhythm of just a reset, you're probably going to waste the fourth quarter too,
Yeah. Yeah.
waiting for the reset. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the main thing. You want to get to the point where this third quarter going into fourth quarter, you're like feeling very good about what you've done.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel that this year, there's probably opportunity to grow in 26.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's so like yeah, if you need that, take that now. If you've been good, keep it going. And then when you
That's
have
right.
a plan for what you're gonna do to start the new year in a good space. That sounds like
That's
a
right.
good action.
That's right.
I like it. I like it a lot. I want to do it today too. I think I need to do it myself. I'm gonna take our advice, Ted. Can you
There you
imagine?
go. There you go.
Okay, well, in this similar vein, next week we'll talk about, kind of like determination and like when you've set something, like how do you see it across the finish line, for lack of a better term? Because I think we've all dropped the ball at some stage, but just maybe how to drop it less or how to re-pick it up again or what to
Yeah.
do. So, how about that for our next
Yep.
week, Ted? Sound good?
Perfect. Perfect.
Awesome. We'll see everyone
Just taking a note.
there. There we go.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.